Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by United Wholesale Mortgage.
Is TRID slowing you down? Not if you're closing with UWM. While other lenders are struggling, we're closing most TRID loans in 15 days or less, thanks to easy-to-use tools like UClose and Ease, and direct communication from submission to close. Get United at UWM.com.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network, brought to you by our great friends at United Wholesale Mortgage. Now listen to this. They have something called Unite. So each time your client gets a statement, it's got a home mortgage value and helps remind them that they need to come back to you to do another transaction. Talk about a great partnership. Hey, last week we saw the jobs number come out and it was better than expectations, 211,000 new jobs. And this really now cements the fact that the Fed is going to hike on December 16th. And we'll talk a little bit more about this as we get closer next week. But because the Fed's going to hike, there's going to be a lot of misconception. Look, it's been a long time. It's been over 9 years since the last time the Fed indeed hiked rates. And as you've heard from me here, it means that, in my opinion, that it will keep interest rates low if the Fed does hike because it curbs inflation. Inflation is the enemy of interest rates. Now, to prove this point, we can go and look at some history. Now, as you know, history doesn't always repeat itself, but you know what? As Mark Twain said, it does tend to rhyme. So let's take a look and see if we can gain some clues here. So first off, what I'm going to show you is past Fed rate hikes. I have to go back here all the way to 2004 when the Fed began a rate hiking cycle. And at that time, the 10-year Treasury was at 4.73%. You know what? We thought interest rates were pretty good in 2004. And that was with the 10-year Treasury at 4.73. So don't complain here at 2.3% on the 10-year Treasury, right? But pretty much half of what it was. The Fed funds rate at the time was at 1%. It currently stands between 0.25% right now. So this is when the Fed began hiking. Let's see what happens. So the Fed hikes between June to November, and they take the Fed funds rate with a series of hikes, as you can see, up to 1.75%. So they raised rates by 0.75%. What's interesting is look what happened 5 months later in November to the 10-year Treasury, and mortgage rates, of course, followed suit. 10-year Treasury actually dropped. They were a bit lower here, but they dropped from 4.73 to 4.20. So mortgage rates and 10-year Treasury, they dropped by 0.5% even after the Fed hiked by 3/4. Let's follow this along and see what happened in February. In February now, the Fed has hiked rates another 0.75% through a series of hikes, and now a total of 1.5% rise from the beginning of the cycle. What did that do? Well, the 10-year Treasury at 4.17 is down about a little more than 0.5%. So as you can see, just because the Fed's hiking doesn't mean interest rates, as far as longer-term instruments like the 10-year Treasury mortgages, are rising. In fact, if it's believed that the Fed's combating inflation, it's actually driving interest rates down. But let's go to the very end of this rate hike cycle where you can see, look at the enormous jump here. Fed funds rate was 1%, jumps to 5.25% between this period of 2 years of rate hikes. That means the Fed hiked rates up 4.25%, so start at 1, up another 4.25, brings it to 5.25. A lot of rate hikes there. What did that do to interest rates on the 10-year? Well, the 10-year was finally higher at 5.09%, but only up 0.36, call it 0.3% in rate. This is after 2 years of hikes and up 4.25%. In fact, at one point in time here, as you could see, early 2006, the 10-year Treasury yield was lower than the Fed funds rate was. So pretty interesting stuff. We're pretty much dead even with what the Fed funds rate was. Very interesting to see this dynamic. And let's take a look here at something more recent. You might say, okay, well, that was back in 2006. How about some more recent action? When the Fed removed quantitative easing in 2014, you'd have to assume that's kind of like a Fed tightening because they're stopping the quantitative easing. So we take a look, January 1st, 2014, the 10-year's at 3%. The Fed began their tapering as they exited quantitative easing. And you can see they ended tapering in October of 2014, removing all of that accommodation. Remember, they were buying $85 billion a month in treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. 10-year treasury dropped at the end of tapering from 3% to 2.29, and that's pretty much where it sits right about now, right in that same range without the tapering. All right, just wanted to bring this to light because I think that this is an area that's often misunderstood. And it's great for you to get this word out to your customers, to your referral sources, because they should know that this could actually be an opportunity. And if history does follow suit and we do see a decline, this could mean some additional refinance business for you. So why not take us up on the offer to subscribe for free to MBS Highway? Just click on the link below and enjoy the stuff every single day. Be smarter than your competition. Get more transactions. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Today's Master the Markets was brought to you by United Wholesale Mortgage.
At UWM, our AEs receive over 500 hours of training each year to keep you current with the industry. We give you direct access to your own team of underwriters who return your calls in 3 hours or less. And we provide exclusive products and tools that give your business a competitive edge. In fact, everything we do at UWM is dedicated to championing your success, which is why more brokers choose UWM than any other lender. World-class service, exclusive products, groundbreaking tools, and you. Get united with us at UWM.com.
This is Mortgage News Network.